about tonight is the practice of how to practice with difficult emotions. And again, this is one of the practice that we do in my lineage, and different lineage do different things. And also, with difficult emotion, we can rely on everything that, our ancestors have been through difficult times. So we can rely on everything that we receive from our ancestor, our relatives, our culture, not necessarily just Buddhism, but from different religions. We try to get as much as we can to deal with tough time. But today, I'm just talk about specifically how in the Shambhala tradition, we work with difficult emotion. And again, it's not a cure, and it's not for really difficult situation. There are professionals that handle that, and you should rely on that. And the practice is just to be curious, to make friends with whatever's going on with us. So we can determine what do we need. Do we need professional or not, or how serious it is. So at least we look at it. So in general, in Buddhism, like we've been taught about, the Eightfold Path, the 6 paramitas, and the practice of meditation. So which is within the view of the meditation, the Buddhist practice include listening, reading, getting information about the Dharma, and contemplating about what we have learned, and also meditating. So those are the 3 things we practice, and the practice is about rediscovering what we call it in Shambhala we call basic goodness, but in other tradition you can call it Buddha nature, the Buddha quality, or the innate wisdom that is already there in us, but it is covered up. So due to our temporary confusion, so our practice is just to remove the confusion. And the practice consists of bringing body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. So we rely on the stillness of the body, the silence of the speech or the breath, and the spaciousness of the mind. So we bring those 3 together. So meditation kind of allow us a glimpse, a taste of that enlightened nature that is innately within us, that's already there. So that glimpse of basic goodness that we have from the meditation give us the confidence, the groundedness to respond wisely with equanimity to difficult situations in life. So in the Tibetan language, the word meditation is gom, which means to be familiar with, to know, to understand well our state of mind, our feeling in the moment. So in the Shambhala tradition, the initial meditation instruction that Trungpa Rinpoche, the founder of Shambhala, gave to us for meditation, which is called shamatha. So peaceful abiding or calm abiding. which is just the basic meditation that we have. But he kind of introduced the meditation with a sense of touch and go. So with the in-breath, there's a light touch on the emotion, the feeling, the sensation of whatever is happening in a moment, in our body, in our mind. And then on our breath, we ride the breath as if we're riding the breath going out into space. So within the in-breath, it's a way to relate to lightly connect with what is going on. And then with the out-breath, to naturally let go into space, to relax our grip, our grasping. So it is like having a moment of awareness of what's going on, and then let it go, even disowning that awareness. So that there is no pressure, there's no struggle to maintain, to hold on to that awareness. So that's how we maintain the feeling of relaxation. So the reason I talk about touch and go, because it's a way for us to relax into whatever's happening. The teaching is that we practice with whatever happened, happy or sad or angry or whatever arise. We have to be there to meet that occasion. So in working with difficult emotions, the initial instruction is for that touch and go, lightly touch whatever we're feeling in the moment, and then breathe out and let them go, and in again, light touch, let go, light touch, let go. And so after a while, we can have a sense of accepting whatever the situation is, the emotion that's present in a moment. So that will lead to the next practice, which is compassionate abiding. And then the next one is Tonglen, which is like giving and taking. So an active compassion practice that we use to alleviate suffering of self and others. So the next thing I will talk about is, so I just talked about the touch and go practice of meditation. So that is the kind of like the introduction to the meditation. And of course, there are many more steps and levels, but you can find out about that by, sorry, I'm not doing what do you call it, advertising for Shambhala, but I'm not qualified to talk about the next levels and what the practice is. But again, that touch and go practice prepare us to compassionate abiding. And so I'll talk about what is the practice of compassionate abiding. So again, it is the invitation to come to and into the body. Remember, we have like body, speech, and mind, body, breath, and mind in oneness, in perfect oneness. So the invitation is to come to and into the body and attend to the body sense or the felt sense of our emotions, like the constriction, the clenching and tightness, the tingling, the heat or the coldness, the harshness, the sharpness in the chest or the tummy, or any part of the body. And we choose to stay present and awake to our felt sense experience, not rejecting it, not holding on to it, not grasping it, not buying to the stories that we relentlessly tell ourselves. So it's just like we get in touch with the felt sense and letting go of the storyline of what we weaving in our head about what we're going through. And you can use any technique from your own practice, from your own tradition, from your own culture. Or you can just follow this simple instruction. It's not better than any other one, but it's one of the techniques. So on the in-breath, we contact the embodied experience of sadness, of anger, of fear, or whatever emotion is manifesting in our body. So we breathe in and we allow the feeling completely, and we open to it. We, open ourselves to it. So in the in-breath, the in-breath can be deep and relaxed, and anything that helps you to let the feeling be there, anything that helps you to not push away. Then still abiding with the urge and the edginess of the feeling, as we breathe out, relax, and give that feeling space. So remember, in the touch and go, it's the same thing. It's about, we ride the breath out into space. And it's not that we push that yucky feeling out of ourselves, but we just give the emotion, that felt sense, the space to be, to manifest, or to continue, or to end, or just to be, and not wishing it to end, to go away, or to lessen, or to get worse. So the out-breath is not a way to sending the discomfort away, but of kind of ventilating it, of loosening the tension around it. So of becoming aware of the space in which the discomfort is occurring. But again, if any time that we feel that it's unbearable or it doesn't make sense, so we can stop and take a break and try it again. So the point is to be willing to direct our attention toward our experience at the level sensation. And then again, next, we ask ourselves whether this sensation that we're feeling is actually a threat in any way. Are we going to die from feeling that pressure in your stomach, of that hollowed out chest or heavy heart? So is that burning sensation is actually dangerous at all? So if we find that experiencing this sensation is not harmful, even if they are disturbing, then experiment with commitment to having a relationship with these sensations, perhaps for the rest of our practice. The point is for this exercise to see for ourselves whether it is in fact a problem to feel the sensations, that we've been organizing our life around not feeling them. So with that, that is the practice of compassionate abiding. So now that will lead to the main practice of Tonglen. And again, I would describe, the step of Tonglen, and then we can practice a little bit, and then now I'm open to questioning. So the practice of Tonglen is the practice of giving and taking, as it described in our tradition. So to begin with the practice of Tonglen, we sit in meditation, just the regular normal meditation, for a short while. And then the first step of a proper Tonglen is they call it to flash an absolute bodhicitta. And what does that mean? It means that to rest our mind for a second or two in a state of openness or stillness with awakened heart mind, or opening to the basic open spaciousness and clarity. So we can imagine that there's open space in front of us, behind us, around us, supporting us, guiding us, lifting us up. So it's just like a sense of support. And then and they call it a flash of absolute bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is like with a mind, with an enlightened mind, with a mind of compassion and wishing happiness and wellness, wishing enlightenment to all sentient beings. And then so after that flashing of openness and spaciousness, the second step is we begin the visualization. And so to start the visualization step, we work with the texture. So we try to breathe in of feelings of heat, of darkness and heaviness, a sense of claustrophobia. So just the texture. And breathe out the feelings of coolness, brightness, and light, a sense of freshness. And breathing in completely, taking in negative energy through all the pores of our body. And breathing out, radiate positive energy completely through all the pores of our body. So we do it until our visualization is synchronized with our in and out breath. And that can trigger fear in ourselves. Wow, man, why we breathing in, all the negative energy into our body? But the reason behind it is that we remember at the first step, we flash on absolute bodhicitta. So we have the intention to offer, to give. Well-being, happiness, whatever, to all the good things to all and to all sentient beings. And also we consider ourselves just like the air purifier, we have the capacity of transforming. That's why the flash on the absolute bodhicitta gave us the confidence that yes, we have that Buddha nature. We're confident about transforming, purifying those negative energy into positive energy. And that's what gave us, the courage and the confidence to do the practice. So again, the first one is flash on the absolute bodhicitta, the spaciousness, the openness. The second step is to begin the visualization, working with the texture. And the third step, now we bring in the personal situation. So we focus on any painful situation that's real, that's happening to us at the moment. We begin to do Tonglen for someone we care about and wish to help. And also we can do the practice for the pain that we are feeling ourselves. So we can do it for ourselves and for others simultaneously. And then for all those who feel the same kind of suffering. For example, if we are feeling inadequate, so breathe that in for ourselves and all the others in the same boat. And then send out confidence, adequacy, and relief in any form, anything that we wish, to ourselves, to others. So the third step is to bring in our real personal situation. And now, and then the last step, the fourth step of the Tonglen practice is to expand our compassion. So we finally make the taking in and sending out bigger. If we're doing Tonglen for someone we love, we extend it out to all of those who are in the same situation. So if we're doing Tonglen for somebody we know, then we expand it to all the people who suffer the same situation that we don't know in the same town, in the same country, or in our country, or whatever. So make it bigger than just that one person that we're doing it for. And with the practice, it's hard, but we ultimately, the practice is that we do the Tonglen for people we consider to be our enemies, those who hurt us, or hurt others. We also do Tonglen for them, thinking that they have the same confusion, the same stuckness as ourselves and as our friends. So breathe in their pain, their fear, and send them relief. So in that way, the Tonglen can extend infinitely. So as we do the practice, our compassion expands over time. And that just give us the sense that things are not solid as we think they are. And that's the introduction to the glimpse of, we call it emptiness. It's another big term, but it's just a glimpse of, things is not that solid. And by doing this, we find ourselves more and more able to be here for others. So even though in hard, impossible situation, we can find the equanimity to be here for our loved one and even for our enemies. So again, that I repeat the 4 steps of the Tonglen giving and taking and giving practice in the Tibetan tradition. The first step is to flash on the absolute bodhicitta, to flash on the spaciousness, the openness, the stillness. The second step is to begin the visualization, to work with the texture of the heat, the darkness, the heaviness, and then breathing out the brightness, the lightness, and the sense of freshness. And the third step is to bring in the situation that we are in, our personal situation, so we can give to ourselves and to our loved one, take away the bad stuff and give away the good stuff to ourselves and our loved one. And then the fourth step is to expand that giving, to expand that compassion. So those are the 4 steps of Tonglen, to give it to offer it to even people we don't know that are in the same situation, and even to our enemies, people who hurt us or who hurt other people. So that's the process of how to practice Tonglen. And again, I forget, when we end the Tonglen, we go back to the sitting meditation, the regular meditation before we dissolve. So first, just sit for a short while. So flash on absolute bodhicitta. Rest your mind in a state of openness, spaciousness, and clarity, with awakened heart and mind. Now begin with visualization. Work with the texture. Breathe in feelings of heat, of darkness, and heaviness. A sense of claustrophobia. Breathe out feelings of coolness, brightness, and light. A sense of freshness. Breathe in completely, taking in negative energy through all the pores of your body. Breathe out, radiate positive energy completely through all the pores of your body. Just continue to do it until your visualization is synchronized with your in and out breath. In, heat, darkness, heaviness, claustrophobia. Out, coolness, brightness, light, freshness. In, heat, darkness, heaviness. Out, coolness, brightness, light. In, heat, darkness, heaviness. Out, coolness, brightness, freshness. So the third step is focus on a personal situation. So bring in a painful situation that's real for you and beginning doing the Tonglen for yourself or for someone you care about and wish to help. Just breathe in the feeling of darkness, of heaviness, of yuckiness, and breathe out the feeling of coolness, brightness, and freshness. To heal yourself or to heal that loved one. Again, continue in with the negative energy, suck it all out. And breathing out, offer the positive energy, whatever you name it. Again, in negative energy, out positive energy. The fourth step, the last step of Tonglen, is to expand that compassion, making that taking and giving, sending bigger, offering it to a wider circle, to people who are in the same boat, in the same situation. Make it bigger than just that one person that we're offering to. Breathe in their pain and sending them relief. In their pain, out, sending them relief. In their pain or our pain, and sending relief to ourselves and others. In pain, out, relief. So now dissolve the practice and just sit in regular meditation, focusing on your breath. Just letting go of Tonglen. So thank you for practicing along with me.